Hey everybody, it's that time of the month again where I talk about all of the new board games that I've added to my collection. And as usual, I've got big, small, old and new games to talk about, 7 games in total. But before I get started on the games, I want to give a shout out to the show's sponsor, KIENDA.co.uk, who are my go-to online retailer. And if you use the link in the show notes or the QR code, then you can get 5% off your first order. Additionally, they do have an extra offer going on where you can get 35% off the Super Deals range. So be sure to use the link on the screen to get huge discounts. But let's get started with Foundations of Metropolis. So I've been waiting for this one for quite some time because I did miss the boat on the original Foundations of Rome. Not like I would have bought it anyway because it just looked a bit too cumbersome, too expensive and just too large, but I love the idea of the game, and I did like the original setting more than the this Foundations of Metropolis version, but this does work. And if I didn't have that comparison, I probably wouldn't even think about it. But this one is a very lightweight, I suppose you can call it economic style game, as you are placing these tiles on this communal board, trying to generate income and also increase your population. But the twist on this one is that once you've placed a tile and you're buying more and more plots of land, you can actually rebuild or build over your existing tiles to place the bigger, more powerful tiles down there. Always try to fill those gaps and place these tiles optimally, because a lot of the time these tiles will kind of interact with your opponents and the surrounding tiles that you're about to place. So very simple game. Again, I'm not going to share my thoughts in this video. It's just about an idea of what's coming up. So that is Foundations of Metropolis. Let's go to a couple of smaller games now then. So we're going to go to a game I took a bit of a gamble on. This is Confusing Lands. This is a 2-player only, kind of an overlapping style game. You know, if you think of games like Agropolis or Sporopolis, Nemalia, Circle the Wagons. This has a similar mechanism to those games where, again, you are overlapping those cards. This one, though, is a lot tighter, where you are only placing 8 cards through the whole duration of the game. You'll have 2 cards in your hand, you'll choose one of them, and the remaining one will go to your opponent. This one, each card has a scoring goal on it. But the more goals you play, the more negative points you get. So you need to be making sure that you are, of course, getting a net profit on those goals. So that is Confusing Lands. On to another smaller card game. This is Kabanga. Finally, the English version of this has come out, because this is another one that had been on my radar for some time. I do like these small card games. This one, as simple as it gets, as you have several rows of these cards here, and what you're doing is you are overlapping the cards of the matching colours, trying to keep the gaps between those 2 numbers as close as possible, because whenever you play a particular card, then your opponent can shed all those cards in those gaps. So it's very lucky, but it's one of those games where you can just turn your brain off and maybe just enjoy the process. So that is Kabanga. Going to the oldest game in the bunch here. This is I'm the Boss. So I actually was not aware that, I think this is Eagle Griffin, has republished I'm the Boss. So Sid Saxon classic negotiation game that, again, I've been wanting to hunt down for some time. Very difficult to find an affordable copy, but now it's back out there in circulation with this new version. I am yet to play this one because you do need the higher player counts, really. I'm probably going to wait until I have at least 4 people with this one. Even then, I probably want to play it with 5 or 6 players to get the most from it. But old school mechanisms, as you're going around this board here, trying to strike these deals by landing on these different spots. Basically, each of these different locations has a certain requirement of these skills, which are basically cards that you need to complete it, and then you can negotiate the dividends that are going to be paid out. But there are different twists on the game where you can actually just kick people out of the hot seat, and then you can take control of the negotiations, hence the I'm the Boss card. So actually really excited for this one. I think it could go one of 2 ways. It's either going to be a really big hit or it's going to crash and burn, but I'm excited to find out regardless. So that is I'm the Boss. Onto a brand new game now. This is Flip 7. So this is a new push your luck style game, very blackjack adjacent. As you have this huge deck of cards, and you've got like 4 4s in the deck, 12 12, 6 6s, and so on, as well as some special cards. And all you're trying to do is you are trying to reveal cards, not get any duplicates. If you get duplicates, you go bust. But you are trying to push as far as you can because you are racing to get to 200 points. And if you ever get 7 cards without going bust, then you get a bonus 15 points, which of course is going to do well. So that is Flip 7. I've pretty much explained the whole game there. Lots of games like this out there, but I will review it and to compare it against some of the the classics, such as Circus Flocati and games like that. On to the last 2 now. So I picked up a copy of Castle Combo. Again, it's getting quite a bit of buzz at the moment. It was an Essen release. This one is a family weight drafting, tableau building style game as you are building a 3x3 grid of these character cards. Each character scores in a different way, depending on what's surrounding them in the same row, the same column, where in the grid they're sitting, all the different synergies you can imagine, and it's all about trying to piggyback those cards off each other while managing your income, because money in this game is very tight. And you need to be making sure you have enough money in your coffers to keep on buying the cards that you want super fast. And I'm quite excited to share my thoughts on Castle Combo. And my review of this one should be up very, very soon as part of a review series. So that is Castle Combo. And the final game I'm talking about today is Deus. So again, long-term viewers of the show might be aware that I used to own Deus, but for one reason or another, which I can't even imagine now, I did choose to sell this one because I played it quite a few times on the bounce, thought that I'd seen everything. But as the months and years have gone by, and I was making top 10 lists, Deus kept on kind of popping up on those lists, or at least on the periphery of those lists. And I thought this game was something special actually, and I can't believe I got rid of it. So I put it back. I have played it since, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it since. So I think this time it's here to stay. If you're not aware of what Deus is, it's a quite a simple little hand management style game. As you have a hand of cards, you can use the cards to pay for other cards, but you are also trying to expand your presence on the map, trying to surround these kind of military regions, score points that way, and get combos from the cards that you are building. As each time you play a card, you are triggering them from the bottom to the top. So a real good degree of engine building with Deus. So really happy to have that one back in the collection. So that concludes the video. That's all of the 7 games that I have acquired here. I think there's some interesting ones, big, small, again, old and new. I'm really looking forward to trying I'm the Boss, as I mentioned, and my reviews of all the other games will be coming up very, very soon. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video and are excited to see my thoughts on some of these games. If you have, please be sure to hit like and subscribe to the channel and check out my other content too. Also be sure to check out the BGG page for my new game, Thalamus, that will be available pretty soon. For everybody else, I'll see you next time on Chairman of the Board. Bye-bye.